Good morning again, everyone, and just here with you again with week 8. And last couple weeks, I've been feeling called to offer like 2 parts of some training or teaching videos about information that really want to come through and be expressed or be shared with the group. The second video this week is really about understanding. Again, we're kind of returning back to that radical responsibility. And just a really more of a reminder this week around, coming from that bird's eye point of view, that condor or eagle point of view around the bird's eye view, to see the whole picture of what's really going on here. Not meaning in your life in this moment, but like really being able to embrace your experience on this planet. And as we mentioned, we're going through the most evolutionary time in all of human history, and there are many souls that wanted to be here for this, and they weren't allowed to be because they weren't evolved enough. And so the ones that are here, aka you and I and many others, like there's a purpose. Either you've known how to shift consciousness, you've done it before in other parts of the cosmos, or you're evolved enough here to do it now. Just know that in this life we will literally watch it go from the dimensional space you're born into to a different dimensional space in our last breath. And we actually watch a dimensional shift happen on the planet in our lifetime, which is incredible. And so in that understanding, we come back to the full radical responsibility of who and what you are. And meaning the fact that you to expand your consciousness for a minute, what if? There's no what if, but just to give you a concept of to expand a little further is you chose your parents. They didn't choose you. And whether you chose the 2-crack accent on the corner or you chose the biggest house on top of the hill, you knew it was going to be the best opportunity that you had to live your purpose on the planet. And whether you had a soul contract with one of your parents because maybe one of your parents was a child in a past life for you, or a brother and sister, or the role is flip-flop, the point is there are these soul contracts that we have. And a lot of times the family we were born into is also a layer of our soul family. Not all of them, but some of them. Sometimes they're just our biological family. Sometimes it was that moment you need to come to that planet at that exact alignment in the stars at that exact moment, and these 2 people were making love at the exact same moment, and so boom, you were here. So it goes many different ways. The point is that you chose, whether you had a soul contract with them or a past relationship and a past life with them as different roles in your lives. Either way, you chose them to come to this planet. And you chose your eye color. You chose your height, your race, your belief systems. You chose everything that you were going to be. And you could have been anything you wanted to be. But you chose this. This hair color, this eye color, this body shape, all of it, because it was going to give you the best opportunity to complete the purpose you were having in this lifetime. So just embrace that for a moment, right? And to take it further, no matter what trauma you've had in life or what life experience you've had or challenges or speed bumps, you designed this to be this way. Doesn't matter, again, how challenging maybe your childhood was, maybe traumatic things you had in high school or up until this moment. Whatever it was, you knew that was going to be part of the plan. You agreed to it, you accepted it, and you planned it out of when it should be. And you're still here, right? It's helped you evolve into who you are today. And so this is that return, again, back to the fundamental understanding. Life is happening for you, never to you, never against you. But when you dive deeper into it, you begin to have understanding. And when we dive into some deeper modalities later on in the program, when we do some Akasha record reading, and we go through a process of teaching you how to activate your own Akasha records, which are the record books of your soul, you'll begin to see how you designed your life this way for certain reasons that complement you on completing your purpose, or aka mission or fulfillment of soul in this lifetime. And so we make agreements around things like, okay, I'm going to go through this challenging moment, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I have an experience of being a father in this lifetime. Or maybe you have a child and you've, made an experience that you want to, have a child. And so it's kind of like this, it's kind of like when you go buy a car, like this like you exchange things. Like, okay, well, I'll go through this challenging experience. I know my soul needs, but therefore I want to be able to have an experience of being a parent, or I want to have an experience of da 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 da, or I want to have these incredible opportunities to climb the Mount Everest or whatever it is, right? And you begin to design your life path or experiences when they need to come in for your soul experience. I don't mean you don't have free choice any given moment. I'm saying no matter what you choose, your life is like a GPS machine. You choose to go left, you choose to go right, it's going to take you to the same place. And you're just choosing whether you want to go down the freeway or go down a dirt road. Either way, like, it's going to take you to the experience because there are certain points in your life path that are designed for you to experience. And it could be blissful, incredible moments of these miraculous experiences, and it could be moments of like challenge and whatever, and speed bumps and whatever it is. But it's designed to grow, help you grow. And you didn't just accept it, you helped prepare it. It isn't just something you said, okay, I'll go do this. It's like, okay, no, I want it to go like this. All right? So this is that place of, like, again, radical responsibility. And when you can come into this space around accepting all the blissful moments, all the challenges, that actually you are fully responsible for it. Again, not responsible like, oh, you did it. Not this humanness, like, around like shame or blame or point fingers like, oh, you did this. It's more like, oh, I designed this. More like taking ownership of an art project that maybe you think is beautiful and no one else does. Doesn't matter. Like, you dressed yourself this way. You made this food for you today. You created this beautiful creative painting or project or whatever you did, or child, or created. So you take ownership of it in a beautiful way of like, beyond a level of proudness. Again, we're coming back to that level of gratitude. So like these fundamental things of gratitude, or like your life is what's happening for you. Like, I want to dive deeper into understanding, so it helps you circle back to this space. And you take ownership of the level of gratitude, like you're thankful for it, because this is the life experience you want to have. Alan Watts talks about dreaming, and he talks about how, if you could go out and have every dream you ever want to have in the world, or every desire you ever want to have as a human, and have experiencing it in a dream and go through all the experiences, like when you get to the end of it, you're going to come back and you're going to, and then you get to dream any dream you want to have, and you're probably going to pick the life you're living today. So just know that you designed this beautiful thing. And so it's really about, like, you chose your life experience. And so it can come back to radical responsibility. And this helps us navigate things like when we look at human patterns, instead of judging or blaming yourself or putting shame on yourself, like looking at, oh, I see why I'm doing that pattern, or why I adopted that pattern into my life, because it's going to here to help me teach this, or help me grow through patience, or help me grow into unconditional love. Like, these are all helping you evolve your own being. And so again, it comes back to the foundation of like the radical responsibility and realizing that you chose your life experience. Okay. Yes. And the other part to that is just we're doing the depth of this work because we're moving into a space where the frequencies are going to definitely be raising, and we're going to go through a shift where over the next like 2 or 3 years, we're going to have the ability to turn on. Again, there's a theory out there. There's 12 strands of our DNA that haven't been turned on yet. And, we can dive deeper into this because it's really profound when you start diving into the understanding of your DNA. You've been told not to look at it. Like, it's not important. Yeah, it is. It's like Wizard of Oz. Like, don't look behind the curtain, right? Like, don't go into that room. Nothing's in there you need to see. And exactly what you're looking for is in that room. So, let me dive deeper about the DNA conversation. I've really been diving into the study of it around the concept of our 12 strands of our DNA and how they relate to ourselves and our evolutionary process. And I'm deep in it right now. And so would love to talk more about this live when you all show up for the conversations of the integration calls and dive into more of a clarity around it and answer some questions. But the point is that there's an opening happening in the dimensional spaces, or a higher frequency coming in, where there's going to be an opportunity, a small window, where over the next 2 or 3 years we have an opportunity to turn on 4 to 6 strands of our DNA. And our DNA is connected to our gifts and our talents. And so it isn't about like somebody having one gift and somebody doesn't. It's about that person's DNA has been a little more activated and a little more open to like being able to have these telepathic experiences, or a deep intuition, or flowing energy through their palms and doing more hands-on healing. Like, all of us have these gifts. It just depends on where we are in the relationship to the activation of our full strand of DNA, that we begin to turn, like flip these switches, right? And so, and again, it's a reminder. I kind of feel like, a big advertisement board right now, like really reminding everybody that there's a window coming, and over the next 2 or 3 years, we have an opportunity to flip on 4 to 6 strands of these DNA of our system. Just to remind you, like turning on 4 to 6 strands in your DNA in a time period of only 2 or 3 years is a lot for your system. It's a lot, energetically, mentally, and emotionally, and physically. And the only way you're going to be able to navigate it is by having your foundation of your practices. If not, it's going to be a short circuit, like when you see an electric wire that's not grounded flying everywhere, shooting out sparks. It's not going to be able to handle the frequency coming through unless you are grounded in your practices, whatever your practices are. Okay? This is not a warning around like in that context. It's more like a heads up. And so it's so important that we really get grounded in what our practices are. And by having the tool belt and this array of different options in your practices, you can choose different stuff, which is beautiful. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day, but it's nice to know what your options are and what resonate with you. What doesn't it resonate with you? There are going to be times you might feel called to do a practice that didn't feel called to you before, and now it does. There's going to be times you're going to open up to do your practice, and what you used to do doesn't resonate anymore, and something else does. So it ebbs and flows, it changes and shifts as you shift. So it's good to know like what all the options are and what you can pull from your tool bag for your practices. Just trying to teach you how it all comes together. All right? So, again, this window's coming like soon, like tomorrow. Not literally, but really close. And so we'll get into more DNA activation stuff later on the program, but just so you know, I love you and want you to know this, okay? All right. Blessings. Have a beautiful day.